So I think it's time to be moving on to our final topic, Docky.
Okay.
Oh,
not that.
Okay.
Did you like text yourself? What was my topic? Shit.
No. Okay. So let me finish the topic first.
I didn't start the thing.
Okay, we're doing fine.
Let me finish the statement first before you interrupt me. Comes on the comment. Okay. What my topic is like, what constitutes a sport or something to be called a sport? Because
we argue about this all day.
Because like my thing is, you often hear people say, and this is not saying this is my belief as well, but I'm saying like people say cheerleading is not a sport, and then you see other people who are saying stuff like they're like super intense into like League of Legends or something, and that should be called a sport or something. Or something like, we were talking earlier today, someone said chess is trying to get into the Winter Olympics or something, and I'm like, how does that constitute as a sport? So you see what I'm saying? Like, what are you guys' opinions on what determines if something is a sport or not? Go.
I'll start.
Alright.
Okay.
I think a sport has to be, I think my personal definition, it has to be competitive and played at some kind of organized professional level to some extent. And it has to be physical.
That's exactly what I said earlier.
So basically what I'm saying is chess, not a sport.
Yeah.
Video games, not a sport. I would personally call cheerleading a sport because it does involve a lot of
Because it
practice.
does go to the collegiate level and they do go to competition. So and
it's physical. It really is.
There's different.
Yeah.
This is where like I go back to the Taylor days when it comes to cheerleading.
he was
on a different level.
Yeah. no room whatsoever.
But like cheerleading is, man, that's just a tough one to argue really, because there is physical aspects, there is a competitive aspect to it. It
shit ain't easy.
Yeah, it's not easy at all, guys.
So like I'm with you. I would probably call it a sport, but it's a different kind of sport.
And the way I see it is like I call cheerleading a sport, but like there's just two different aspects of it.
Different classification.
Just the shit sitting there at like a basketball game on the sideline or at a football game on the sideline. Like if cheerleading was just that, I'm like, no, that's not a sport at all. But like the competitions and shit that they go to,
bring it on.
The crap they do.
well, but like the competitions and stuff that they go to and all the acrobatic shit that they do, like that's tough shit and that's physical.
Maybe for you.
It is. It's very, very difficult stuff. I would constitute that as a sport.
See, that's where I agree.
Okay, going off what you said, Zach. You said it has to be competitive. What were the other things?
It has to be competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to be done at some kind of like an organized,
like semi-pro.
At least semi-pro. It has to be able to be done at an organized / professional level and physical, which is my biggest qualification personally.
See, okay, so I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here, but chess ticks off 2 out of 3 of those. It is competitive. So does that mean
it's not physical? It's missing the most important one.
Yeah.
But 2 out of 3 are the points that you classify. I mean, that's important. I'm saying, but like it's competitive and it's at a professional stage.
That's 67%. That's a D.
Yeah.
So what
D's don't get degrees.
What's chess then? What is chess then?
Chess is a game that can be played. It's a recreational activity that can be played professionally.
It's kind of like.
It's like pool.
I was going to refer to it more as bowling, which is also an argument, but it's leisure, what they call a leisure sport, and I do it at the organized competitive
And here's
level.
the thing.
I mean, it is physical, kind of.
Dude, that shit hurts your wrist.
And it's a lot more difficult than it looks.
It is.
I'll give you that.
And
I mean,
talking someone's done it for 9 years now.
It's a game of skill, just like chess and just like pool, but I don't think of them, like when I just think of the term sport, I don't think of things like that. It's my belief that if you have to create a label like leisurely sport, that it's not a sport. Kind of like esports. If you when you call basketball, football, baseball, you say sport. If you have to call playing competitive Counter-Strike or competitive League of Legends esports, then it's not a sport.
Yeah.
That's an esports are not sports. They're esports is a different thing.
I know where you're coming. I get it.
You know,
I agree.
So people call badminton a sport.
I think badminton's more of a sport than chess, and like Bowling.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's
That's
a lot
still
of
more of. It's on the probably the bottom part of.
It's about the bottom tier.
Like golf, it's barely above.
Yeah, golf. That's another one.
See, but if you were really good at badminton, though, you would consider it a sport, though.
There's a difference.
Yeah, because like you're biased and you're defending it.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like you're saying it's bottom tier, but like if I'm really good at badminton.
I mean, that's like.
But, like,
I just said I consider badminton a sport.
Yeah, but
Like, would you consider golf like a full sport if no one used carts? If everyone walked the course, chased the ball?
Golf is the one that blurs the lines the most.
Yeah, I think
because there is a lot of physical activity involved, but it's not really strenuous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It checks off all the boxes, but it's about halfway. Yeah, Tiger Woods, that guy. Anyway,
He has back injuries from golf.
Probably.
Since he's like 6.
and probably because he's been hurting his back banging all those women. I'm sorry. I had to do something. We're talking about Tiger Woods, man. You just can't. It can't be done. I'm sorry, Tiger, if you're watching.
Like,
this.
I still consider golf a sport.
See, what about something like gymnastics, though? Like, or
I would call that a sport.
That's hard as fuck.
Call that a
okay,
sport.
so
Do you think my fat ass could get on?
I think you're
rings?
trying. I think you're trying really hard to look for a contradiction in my statement. And
Well,
so far, you haven't found.
Oh, we talked about this earlier about gymnastics specifically, and I'm somewhat on the fence about it. Like it's
the
definitely
dancing part.
no, just like gymnastics as a whole. Like it's definitely physical activity, competition, but the judges part is what
You don't like.
I don't like that. Like it's almost out of your hands in a way. After you perform.
But I'm about to be a dick here.
Uh-oh.
Boxing.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, that's a good one. I completely
And
agree.
that's definitely-
But everyone considers boxing a sport.
It's
Exactly.
definitely a sport.
you see, that's where the judging line is, where
Yeah.
like, it's like,
There is.
Well, that's the same like UFC. Unless it's a KO, it's up to the judges.
Yeah.
yeah. So you see, I mean, that's UFC is definitely a sport in my opinion, because
Oh yeah.
let's be real, someone's gonna come kick your ass. You need a sport to do that.
And every wannabe tough guy 14-year-old is going to be one of those cage fighter.
Tap out shirt. There's flat tap out hat. Bam.
Monster Energy.
Douchebag.
No, but yeah, I'm just like on the fence because I feel like it's more opinionated than anything. Because if you're good at the sport, and especially like with the way things like video game industries and stuff are growing, things like the League of Legends, like World Cup and stuff, are only gonna grow larger and like bigger and bigger.
But I'm not. I'm sorry. I'll let you finish your thought.
And, like,
I apologize.
Things like League of Legends and like next thing, like they even have a King of Fight, like all those fighting tournaments or Evo, like that's like probably growing like more and more every year, and eventually they're probably gonna have some form of like World Cup or tournament. I guess maybe that is a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
like-
as long as they don't say, "Hey, we're a sport," put us on ESPN or whatever. Like,
No one cares.
But would you watch it if it was on ESPN?
well, yeah, I'd watch it, and I wouldn't have to stream it and have shit.
But we're also part of that minute group that would.
Oh yeah, like
There's only a percentage of us, and then you got that larger percentage of actual sports fans.
yeah.
They would be like,
what the fuck is this shit? Where's my football?
It would be exactly like that. Be like, what's this bullshit? Where's my sports center?
Yeah.
And poker is on ESPN, isn't it?
Which is bullshit.
But here's the
Bowling.
thing. I don't consider being shown ESPN the barometer for a sport. Consider ESPN as basically the LeBron channel,
True.
and so I don't really give a fuck about ESPN.
Like more specifically, like you're talking about Evo, like I consider myself a part of like the fighting game community. That's like mostly what I play is fighting games, and that's like what I follow. So I'm gonna watch it no matter where it's at. So if it's on like network television, you bet your ass I'm gonna watch it. But I'm not gonna defend it as far as saying it's a sport. Like no, get the hell out of here.
Define physical when you like say it has to be physical.
Has to like. Here's the thing.
That's,
When I think of physical, it has to involve like
Contact.
it not
Well,
necessarily
then gymnastics
not, well, not even contact. It just
like
has
the
to
single sports.
involve strenuous activity. Like like playing a video game
I strain my
can
thumb.
can make you like
Hey.
and you can get like arthritis and might make you sweat, but that's not physical activity. You know, you're not up and about. You know, you're not doing something that makes you really makes you sweat. It can like really like actually like physically impact you.
Something that actually is exercise.
Yeah,
You
that's a
have
good
to
definition.
Practice and work towards.
Even
In a
golf.
physical aspect.
I say even golf, you're walking around on long courses, you are carrying shit, and you're working your triceps, man, and your upper back.
I don't know. I'm gonna like have a definitive answer. Like I've been on the fence about a lot of the activities that have been sports or not sports. I would say like cheerleading. That's like the big one. Cheerleading, sport.
That's a sport.
Definitely.
Sport.
Gymnastics, sport.
Chess, not a sport.
Chess, not a sport.
No disrespect to any of those non-sports. We're saying aren't sports.
Yeah. Like
they're just a different kind of activity.
chess, video games. I can't believe people want to call video games a sport.
And
that's coming from us. Like,
yeah, we are huge gamers, huge nerds.
But you've heard of it though, like with the League of Legends.
Oh yeah, it blows my mind. Like, are you retarded?
Don't they have a World Cup?
Yeah, the World Championship. The grand prize is like $5 million.
See what I'm saying? Like, that's really
That's
crazy.
just people that have a shit ton of money and don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
dude, that's crazy.
You know, this is an interesting debate. I really enjoyed this discussion. You know, I'm just going to briefly touch upon a debate I had in my last semester of school. I took I know it sounds awful, a family communication class. And the biggest question we had to answer, like our final essay question was, using theories you've learned and examples you learned in this course, give your definition of family.
okay.
And so I remember in my final paper, I argued for the socio-legal perspective, which means who is legally your mom, your dad, your sister, which also kind of relates to the blood. And my argument was, if you have to say someone is like a brother or like a sister, they're not family. You have to say they're like it. That was my defense.
Okay, I could, yeah.
Anyway, this is kind of a different discussion. I just kind of wanted to share that.
I agree with that.
Y'all can throw some few thoughts my way, but that's a different discussion.
I'll think on that. I'll think on it.
Like seriously, like what's your definition of family? That shit's tough.
And then all of a sudden here goes, that's my second cousin. I can marry her in Missouri.
Oh my gosh.
Allison's not his second cousin. If you
I promise.
Clear that up real quick.
She's like a fourth or a fifth.
Alright. Well, gentlemen, I think that about does it for another episode of the Above a 3 podcast.
Nice.
Alright, we thank you all very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the discussion. Anything else to say, gentlemen?
Remember to follow and comment and let us know what we can improve on.
Please subscribe on YouTube.
Don't be an asshole. Docky, you have to say something now, man.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, it's like Gabe said, like our videos, share our videos, subscribe, tell everybody you know, even your mom and dad. We would greatly appreciate
And
that.
their second, third, fourth cousin.
This is very much a work in progress. We're always looking for feedback, always looking to improve our videos, improve our discussion, improve the equipment, which we are in the process of doing. We hope to have more great content on the way for you. We'll see you again next week.